Well, thank you, Jim, for that nice introduction, and thank you, fellow Toastmasters, for listening to me today. It is my purpose today to inspire and to convince you, to persuade you to be more unselfish. But in particular, I want to convince you to be more unselfish in your place of work. And if you do that, I want to show you how it can increase trust, credibility, and loyalty. So let's get into that. Winston Churchill was once quoted as saying, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." Now, Winston Churchill was a pretty awesome guy, but I'd like to differ a little bit with the first part of his statement. He said, "I really believe that we make a living, or at least a much better living, by what we give." Now, William Arruda is a personal branding expert, and he has a principle for success that he's come up with, and it's called genuine generosity. The formula is selfless intention, that's what we're going to mostly talk about today, plus sacrifice, plus need equals genuine generosity. I want to share with you a way that I demonstrated this principle accidentally and somewhat imperfectly. But the results were, as you will see, what he said we can expect. It all started 20 years ago. I had an opportunity to start a business. There was a software product that I had created, and I knew that there was a great need for this product out in the market. I just knew it. But I was terrified to sell. A couple of, you can relate to that, right? I actually had a couple of jobs before this opportunity where I was a salesperson. And I failed miserably. Oh man, it was ugly. It was so ugly. And I actually vowed never to be a salesperson ever again, let alone start my own business. What am I doing? But I had to do it. I just knew that there was a need, so I had to move forward. So I came up with a plan. I came up with a plan to succeed without selling. How can I do that? Well, it started because of my neuroses and my fear of failure and of not being a good salesperson. So I just came up with this plan to avoid selling and to try to do what I felt needed to be done with this business. What I did is, the job that I had before this opportunity was with a major railroad, and I learned of a new free service that they were coming out with the other railroads that was going to be very valuable to shippers. It was going to save them sometimes up to $20,000 or more dollars a year. And this was 1997, so the internet was not that big. Railroads were not great about getting information out. So I knew that this was valuable information. So what I was going to do is I was just going to start cold calling, and I was going to share this information with people and then see what happened. But what happened? The results were amazing. They really were. First of all, it really did build trust. When I shared this valuable information with people, their guard went down, and they just relaxed. And the conversation was just natural and normal, and pretty soon they started sharing with me information about their job and their business, and I was able to ask them just easy questions to see, was my product a good fit for them? And so that was successful in terms of building trust. Credibility. When the word got out that I was sharing this information to folks, and I would tell people about how I was sharing this information, I got opportunities to speak at conferences. And at those conferences were more people that I could share that information with, and more people who could possibly buy my product. And then finally, it did lead to loyalty. It led to sales. And those customers that did buy from me, and I didn't sell them, I made sure of that, but they bought from me. And because they bought from me, and the sales process was just so natural and normal, and it was a process of asking questions and finding out if there was a good fit, those customers stayed with me for a long time. The salary that I had before I went into this opportunity was X amount of dollars. In 10 years after that, and when I started this process in this business, it tripled. And also, I was able to do all my sales, well, most of my sales, and support over the telephone. And my customers are all over the country. And I'm not selling a low-ticket product either. I was selling a product that goes for $10,000 at a minimum, up to $50,000. So, by utilizing this principle, somewhat imperfectly, not perfectly, and unknowingly, this genuine generosity principle, I was able to build a business pretty much over the telephone by myself. And that enabled me to obviously make decent money, but also to spend a lot of time with my family while my kids were little and growing up. It was just a wonderful thing. So, I hope that this example has helped you feel like maybe if you were a little bit more unselfish in your workplace, that you too could achieve more success. And I wanted to have a call to action. I want you to go home tonight and think about, how you could be more unselfish in your workplace, and think about a person that you could focus on, and think about a particular thing that you could share that you have that's valuable that other people would need, and do that. And I think that you will be more successful, and I want to hear about it too when you are. Thank you.